There we go. Hi everyone and welcome back to Georgia Unplugged. I'm running behind schedule again because I've had a sick kid again. It's been relentless since beginning of December I think, but finally we are now all healthy. I've got herbal tea because we ran out of milk this morning because I'm still on the back foot, but that's fine. I've got yogi tea and it says on the label, interesting enough this label's in English, it says love has no boundary. So here's to love. And yeah, today I was also a bit late starting work. I'm working from home today, or not working from home today as I'm doing this video, because there were no trains and my husband had to get to work and he missed 2 trains, or didn't miss them, they just were cancelled, didn't turn up. So I had to drive him to work, which is the other side of town, and we got stuck in traffic. But that's fine, I can catch up tonight. We have dentist appointments this afternoon and we have kids do hip hop later on as well, so Monday's a washout for me, at least today. So never mind, I thought I'd record this video now. I'm a few days behind anyway, and all good. And my kidly is back at school and they're all doing fine, everyone's fine. Yes, finally, healthy. So today I wanted to talk about things I no longer care so much about now I'm getting older. I'm now in my 50th year, it's January 2025, and in 6 months time I will turn 50 or 50, not sure which way you see it. And it's kind of scary because I don't feel like it. And there are many other aspects that I don't really see myself as a 50-year-old. But also in many ways I do, and I've embraced aging, which I quite like as well. So here's a few little things I'm going to talk about. I don't know how many, I'm not going to do a listicle thing and say 7 things or whatever, just it's a rant, as some of my videos are. So the first thing is ill-fitting clothes. I spent so much of my youth, by late teens I guess, 20s and 30s, wearing clothes that were too tight. Now it's proven that tight clothes make you feel stressed, and I was always very little anyway, and in my 30s I was really fit, and I always wore clothes that just fitted just right, or were a tiny bit too small, and were uncomfortable. Jeans, in fact even these jeans are a bit tight, but that's because I've put on some weight, not because I chose to wear them, but they're a little bit stretchy, so they're okay. Almost elasticated, but not quite, I'm not there yet. Yeah, I used to wear t-shirts that were too tight at university, I remember, little crop tops we used to wear. I had this really cool t-shirt that had a lemon on it, that was a scratch and sniff one, and I used to go to the union on a Friday night and go, who wants to sniff my t-shirt? This is terrible, this is so embarrassing. Yeah, so I don't have that anymore, obviously. I got rid of that one a long time ago. But ill-fitting clothes, including just jeans, dresses even that were too tight, things that I used to have to hold my breath almost because they were so uncomfortable, but they looked good. Also shoes to go with it. I used to have 30 or 40 pairs of shoes, gorgeous heels, Kurt Geiger especially I really liked, they fitted me well. I used to get them at the airport at Gatwick, or there used to be at least a Kurt Geiger shop. And just so many just gorgeous shoes, and I wore them maybe once or twice each because I'd get up to go to work, look at my shoes and go, trainers. And I'd wear the same pair of shoes every single day without fail. I had a couple of pairs under my desk in case we got visitors. We never got visitors. And it was pointless. And then, as luck has it, after my kids, my feet grew actually a tiny bit. So I couldn't wear any of my shoes anymore. So I sold some and begrudgingly donated the rest. I don't even have any of them anymore. I sent a lot to Selpy, who sold them on my behalf. Maybe a couple through Vinted, but I don't really like Vinted that much because I have to deal with people, and we don't like dealing with people. Especially when they haggle over €1, you know, here, €3, I'll give you 2 for it. Really? Anyway. Yeah, so I no longer, well, apart from these jeans today, but they're half comfortable. I wear clothes mostly that fit me comfortably. I'm about comfort, not about discomfort. Saying that, 2 weeks ago I went to the opera with my daughter. We went to see the Magic Flute with her class. It was awesome, it was really nice. And I wore this amazing vintage 50s dress. I got it unvinted, so obviously I didn't try it on, and it's handmade. You can tell it was handmade by someone. Just the way it is, it's got no label, it's got rough edges. And I had a zip up the back halfway, and then little hook and eye hooks which needed replacing. So I replaced them, and it was really quite nice because I've got quite a curvy figure, a little person but curvy figure now. And I tried it on when I got it. I was like, this is great. It's a little bit tight, but it's fine. I probably tried it on the morning when everyone is a bit smaller anyway. Put it on for the evening. I'd fix the hook and eye thing at the back. Get my daughter to zip it up. She's going, Mummy, I'm like, you can do it, you can do it. I'm breathing in, right? And then I get her to do the hooks up. And my husband comes in. He went, yeah, that's not going to work, because it was like splitting. I went, no, it'll be fine. I've got a shawl, put the shawl around, see, it's fine. Literally by the end of the evening, all the hooks had come out. Every time I breathed in any way, deeply, pop, I could feel one go. So luckily I had that. I had a cardigan as well, which I ended up putting over the top. But it's a beautiful dress. So what do? I'm thinking actually, because it's handmade, I might be able to have it made a little bit wider, because there is this fabric it kind of folds in, that maybe I can have a zip put in the back, which is better than hook and eye. A zip all the way up, and have it made a tiny bit wider, because it's so beautiful. It's this beautiful 50s simple little one. But yeah, so apart from that 2 weeks ago, and apart from these jeans, I wear things that fit me nicely. I have these awesome Clark shoes I bought when I was in England in November. I got them from a charity shop. They were brand new. They're almost like Granny Clark shoes, these lace-up leather shoes, and they're the best shoes in the world. They're so comfortable, and they look kind of cool and kind of thing you'd see someone into sustainability and veganism wear. Well, not being leather, but they look this kind of flat, wide, healthy shoes, and they're just the best. So yeah, I am definitely into more comfortable things. That's definitely one thing now. Second thing, oh yeah, well, what I've written here. I don't care so much what other people think about me. I was never that obsessed with it, but obviously we all worry about what other people think about us. So I would try and behave in a way in public where people would maybe not necessarily like me, but wouldn't notice me. This is what it is. Not quite wallflowery, but I didn't want to stand out. My dad was a very quiet man. He came from a very working class family, and he was very aware of his background. He lost his Geordie accent quite quickly. He just had a slight northern accent, but Geordie's from Newcastle, up north near the Scottish border, where he came from. My family up there, very, very broad accent still, but he sort of lost it. He was somehow ashamed of it, I think, which is a shame. He was the first of his family to go to university. He had a really good job. He lived in Germany as a kid, not far from where I live now. But he was always very quiet. We always had to be seen and not heard, that very kind of traditional childhood. And children behave and say yes and no, thank you, please, whatever. And even my mum now, you know, you can't misbehave at the dinner table or she'd get really cross. And even swearing, excuse me, swearing, I can't even swear in front of my mum now at 49 years old. So yeah, my dad, he used to not really swear either. It's a strange thing where your parents really control how you behave and you take it into adulthood with you. And I'm trying not to do that with my kids, but I also don't want them to be feral. So let's find a nice balance here. But the point is, my dad used to basically always tell us to shush, you're too loud, shh, you're embarrassing us, everyone can see us, everyone's looking at us. You know, in the supermarket, shh, keep quiet, as older kids even. And my husband comes from a very loud family. I mean, think kind of Boris Johnson loud, right? My husband has the loudest sneeze, and I'm thinking I saw a skit on Saturday Night Live about Will Ferrell doing an ad, pretend ad, with the woman from Bridesmaids. I might put a little clip in here because that is how my husband sneezes.
Barry has been sneezing all day, but with 4 kids, a good night's sleep is essential. That's why we need a cold night.
Ow!
That is how my husband sneezes. He wakes me up at night from the other room sometimes, so he sleeps there because I sleep here with the kids. sneezing so loudly. And then when we first got together, I was going, what was that? What was this ridiculous sound? Because I go, achoo, you know, all dainty. And he goes, blah. First time I met his mum sneezes. She sneezes like it as well. I'm like, what? What is this loud family? They're not even blood related. You know, my husband's adopted. Nature nurture. So just noise, and his dad would tell stories. He was a musician, a classical musician. He had all these fantastic stories from the tours they went on, and he used to drink quite a lot, and it was quite posh, and his family's quite posh. They both went to boarding school, his parents, and it was just all this loud posh family, and we were like this quiet working class family. And the mixture was always weird. My dad whispered towards the end of his life. He died almost 5 years ago now. And he was the point where we could hardly understand what he said because he was so embarrassed about any noise that he would possibly project outwards and gain any attention. So it's taken me a long time to get over this. I still have some issues. Let's say if my husband sneezes loudly, we're in a restaurant, he sneezes loudly, everyone else turns around and goes, oh, bless you. He goes, oh, thank you, danke, danke. And I'm just going, oh. But I'm getting better. You know, the point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. People are going to like you or dislike you. So just behave the way you want to do. Behave how is comfortable to you. If you want to be quiet, fine. If you want to be loud, fine. But try not to dictate what other people do, and try not to be ashamed about your own behaviour, because there's no point. There's no point being like that. Now I've learned I want to focus more on the things that align also just with my beliefs. And this is very much that I believe that I should be me, everyone else should be themselves, and not to worry really about other things. Another thing, this is like an age-related thing. I don't feel like I'm 49. I know I don't really look it. I kind of do today. For some reason I look really tired. I didn't even sleep that badly. I was asleep by 9, but you know, I woke up at 4, so maybe that has something to do with it. I know I look young. I haven't got that many grey hairs. I'm getting more every day, but you know, it could be worse. I haven't been to my school reunions. We had the 30-year school reunion last September and 25-year one 5 years previously. I didn't get over to England for them. I went to this girls' school and I didn't really enjoy it. That's an understatement. I hated it. I went from 12 to 19. It was a girls' school, a day school. I found it really hard. I've got 2 friends I'm still in contact with quite closely. One's in New Zealand, one lives in the UK still. And the rest, I'm sort of connected on Facebook, although not that many. But honestly, the ones I wanted to stay in touch with, I did. And the ones I didn't. So why would I go to a reunion? But then I saw the photos of the first and the second reunion. And it really struck me how some of them have really aged into middle age. They've become these mums. I don't know, I mean, I'm a mum, but I don't feel like I really look or behave necessarily like a traditional old-fashioned mum. You know, my mum looked like a mum when she was 35, and she behaved like a mum, and it was all terribly grown up, because people used to be more grown up back then. When she was 16, she looked like a grown-up. When I was 16, I was a student with a hoodie who I couldn't even drive. Well, I couldn't drive anyway because it was England, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't look after myself. So it's just bizarre. It's bizarre how different people age, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, but there's something in me that doesn't want to admit that I am as old as I am, because maybe I have younger kids, they keep me young. 6 and 9 is quite young, and I love being an older mom because it's given me a lot of patience and wisdom in a way, but also I'm not as sort of impatient, maybe, I don't know, or childish. Maybe I'm more mature, so I do have the age with it, but I don't want to have to necessarily act like someone my age and dress like someone my age. I mean, I'm wearing my little cat jumper today, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, a little cat jumper, which my daughter loves. She loves cats. And Jimmy, oh yeah, Jimmy's back over there. So our cat's back as well. He keeps me company in the daytime. He follows me around like a little puppy, even though he's a cat. Yeah, so I was just amazed at how many of them look like middle-aged women, and it made me sort of a little bit happy inside, not in a necessarily negative way towards them, but in a positive way towards me, thinking I'm embracing life. I want to continue living like a young, vibrant person and not just become old and go, well, I'm a mom now, so therefore I have to behave in this certain way and adhere to these certain rules and restrictions that our society places on us, because that's basically bollocks. So we can do what we want. You know, you can be an awesome old woman walking down the street in multicolored clothes in your 70s and you look awesome. You know, just do everything with confidence. And sometimes I probably do look old and fuddy-duddy, and you know, I guess that's how it is. But I'd like to not do my hair, you know, it's a bit damp still. I want to grow my hair, but for some reason it doesn't seem to want to grow further than this. It used to grow much longer, so I need to figure out how to get my hair to grow longer, because I think long hair on older women looks just stunning, and especially as it's turning white slowly. I'm embracing my white hairs, grey hairs. I think they're white actually. An older woman with long white hair or grey hair look just stunning. I think stunning. So that's a look I would quite happily embrace, but with a young perspective, just to look and feel confident in myself. That's the thing. Now, celebrity gossip, especially when I was in London, I used to work for a publishing house, and we used to get all the gossip magazines sent to the publication next door to us, which dealt with advertising and everything. And I used to spend every lunch hour reading all the celebrity gossip magazines. I'd buy my own, all those pink ones there. Was it Closer? Gosh, I don't remember what they're called. Closer was one, that's others. I used to buy them weekly. I used to read them cover to cover and go, oh my gosh, and gossip and the negativity with it, you know, the page of shame with, oh, terrible skin on these people. Just awful, horrible stuff. I don't engage with any of that. I haven't done for many years, probably at least 15, and I don't miss it. And then I hear people talk about Love Island, never watched it, even Strictly Come Dancing, those kind of things, even the X Factor, Voice, all those, nothing. Don't watch any of them, never have. The original one, original Big Brother, we watched the first 2-3 years. We were still in the UK then, but all of that just out the window, and it makes me a better person, it makes me more accepting of other people and less judgmental. I mean, I know I was just judging my old schoolmates, but you know, some people do need judging sometimes, but mostly we shouldn't judge, and I try not to, and I'm trying to be a better person, and that's all we can do. We do the best we can. Yeah, so what else? I had not having to justify saying no. My daughter came home the other day and said, a friend of hers asked her, are you free this afternoon? Can I come to your house? And my daughter went, I am free, but no, we can't have a play date. And her friend went, why not? And she went, just no. And she went, why not? What are you doing? And she was badgering her. And we had this whole conversation where I said, you don't have to say why you're not free. You just say no, not possible, no. And I know it's difficult because they're 9. It's hard. I find it hard. I've always found myself justifying why I can't do things. When I'd written something, gosh, this yoga retreat someone tried to sell me once. It was like a 5-day thing, and I couldn't afford it. It was overpriced. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to leave my family for 5 days. It just wasn't on my agenda to go on this retreat. Although I love doing yoga, it's different, 2 very different things. And I wasn't even asked why not. Oh, are you interested in this? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I found myself justifying why I was saying no. I was going, oh, well, it's maybe a little bit over my budget. Oh, we have a payment plan. Damn. You know, so, well, you know, don't leave my family. Oh, well, the family can come along, you know, have an accommodation, pay for them. Okay, more money. And I did go on something like that once years ago, which was amazing, but this was a different one. And every time I said why I couldn't, there was another excuse coming back. Oh, about this, oh, about that, you know, and actually this person was just trying to sell it to me no matter what. And the point should have been like, no, thank you, I'm not interested. End of conversation. And if they say, why are you interested? It's just not something that I'm interested in at this time, at this moment. I find it really hard because I think, again, a lot comes from how we're raised as kids. I feel like I'm always in the wrong, always on the back foot. I was blamed a lot for things as a kid that even I didn't do. And I always feel I have to justify every action, every excuse, every reason. I used to go to this lady to have my legs waxed, and it was November time, she had this ginormous advent calendar full of little beauty products that was about 70 euros. And you're talking like 15, 16 years ago. And she was like, oh, look, I've got these calendars, do you want to buy one? And I went, well, And then she kept saying, oh, come on, oh, it's great, look at all these things, it's actually really worth 150 euros. I went, okay, I'll buy one for my sister. And she wasn't interested, and I wasn't interested. So after spending how much on even having my legs waxed, I then gave her even more money because I couldn't even say no to this stupid advent calendar that my sister then went, okay, thanks. Probably had some good stuff in it, but that's not the point. The point is I didn't want to buy it for her. I'm better now. I am better. Not perfect, but I am definitely getting better. And now another thing, which is possibly actually a separate video entirely, which is parenting on my own terms. Being an older mother means I have much more life experience, and I've seen how young mums are treated by, let's say, their own families and just strangers and older, more experienced people on how to parent. Ultimately, parenting is up to you. Living away from our parents has given us a better perspective that we haven't had their influence or advice. You can see it both ways. A lot of my expat friends have German husbands who have their mother-in-laws interfering massively into their child's education, but into raising their children. And it drives them mad, especially very old-fashioned German women. They see it as a certain way, you must do this, you must do that. So I guess I've had the liberty and freedom to parent on my own, with my own way, and it's been great. It's been great learning on my own and finding out things with my husband, not just my own, but we've read books, sort of. I bought books, I didn't read them much, I skim read them. But it's been great. I might do a separate video because I have so many little anecdotes of the Oma Polizei, the old ladies that like to shout abuse at you if you haven't got socks on your kid in summer because they might be cold and things like that. But yeah, I basically parent on my own, and if someone judges me, they can basically piss off, and I will say them so. I'll tell them that. The one thing I will stand my ground on is my children. I will defend them to the hilt. I am a mama bear. I will not hold back. It's strange. Myself, I find it very difficult to defend my kids. No problem. I'm straight in. I'm there. So a bit helicoptery at times I was when they were younger, but honestly, if I'm not going to be there for my kids, no one's going to be there for them. But I might make a separate video. If you're interested, then maybe leave a comment if you'd like a separate video on parenting on my own terms, and also being an older parent, and how actually amazing it is. How it wasn't what I planned, really. I always thought by 25 I'd be married with a kid, because my mum had her first kid at 25. It was this kind of optimum thing. But it's been great, and it is great. Best thing ever happened to me is have my kids. My kids are just amazing. We have a great family unit. That is one thing I would not change for the world. And if I had had kids earlier, I wouldn't have my 2 kids. I'd have other kids who I'm sure would be awesome, but not those 2. Now, another thing which is quite strange, I wear contact lenses. I'm quite short-sighted. So my eyes get a little bit worse in the evenings, which is quite common for everyone, but especially if you're short-sighted. I don't like driving after dark. I remember, like, my dad used to complain about this, and I'd be like, what's wrong? Dark is great, I love driving in the dark. I love the romantic kind of night lights and dark drives, and maybe not through forests, but dark, beautiful areas, seaside and things. I really struggle to see properly. I don't know what it is, the reflecty, even in my glasses, it's all my lenses. I just struggle a bit more. We've driven back from holiday quite often late at night, or on business trips I've had to go for the day somewhere up to Stuttgart or somewhere, and I struggle. The motorways here are not lit up at night, so it's pitch black. If there are no other cars, there's no lighting. No cat's eyes along the side of the roads like in England, nothing. So you're there relying on your headlights, and it's sort of scary, and I don't know, I can't focus properly, I can't judge distances. I've become an old person, and I don't care, and I don't want to drive after dark. I do, especially in winter, I have to, but it is what it is. I mean, we're going to get back at 6:30 tonight from hip hop, and it'll be dark, and that's fine because it's in the city, but I'm talking more long distance motorway driving. It's not cool. And my husband gets very tired at night because he's got ADHD. He takes medication in the daytime, so he crashes at night. So whenever we have come back, I often end up doing the later driving shift, unless he takes a pill which then keeps him awake all night, which we try to avoid. But that's kind of an interesting one, nighttime driving. 2 more things. Makeup every day. I don't wear makeup every day. I'm wearing it today. Might be a bit smudged here. I don't know, can't see. Can't focus, you know. Old eyes. I have reading glasses now as well. I haven't worn makeup the last 3 days. It's been great. It's Monday today. Friday I worked from home. Actually sort of forgot, and the weekend I just didn't bother because it was just me at home, and then I put makeup on this morning, and it's great because you don't have to take it off in the evening. You just wash your face or not. I don't always take my makeup off anyway because I'm lazy. But I also believe in the protective powers of makeup on the face. I think Liz Taylor might have said that or something, how she would make up and it protected her from aging. But I don't wear much anyway. I just wear stuff on my eyes, nothing more. No foundation or anything, not anymore. And yeah, another one, phone calls versus texts. I'm a little bit more of a millennial or even Gen Z like this. I hate phone calls. I hate it when people call me. And the worst thing is I work in PR, so people call me and I see my work phone and I go, oh God, I have to answer it. So then I answer it if I'm feeling brave, or let it go to voicemail. But you know, email me, text me, just text, just give me a text to respond to in my own time. And the less I have conversations with people, the less I want to. You become more and more introvert. I think lockdown did this a lot. Working on my own as well. I had my own office for years after we moved out of the office. I then had my own Regis office for about 5 years, and it was just me on my own and emails to the boss and my colleagues, and you lose that touch of talking to people. And then when I started work now, whenever I go in the office, I start off a little bit, oh, people. And then I chat to someone, I go, oh, actually it's okay. But don't call me, just text me. And that's better because I'm more comfortable with it. I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know. Actually, if you do leave a message, I may also not listen to it for months on end because I'm worried about it being bad news or something. I don't even know what the logic behind it is, but it is what it is. But, all right. So those are my few things that I care or don't care about or have changed since getting older. And I'm going to thoroughly enjoy the next 5-6 months in my 40s and hopefully do something cool for my 50th birthday, which is on a Saturday, and the first day of a 2-week holiday with the kids as well. So we will try and go away maybe. I'm going to have to book something awesome because if I don't do it, nobody else will. And anyway, if you've got this far, thank you for listening to me rambling, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheerio!